Obviously, coming from Nice, what does tomorrow's game against Marseille mean for you?
Well, yeah, it's a kind of derby in south of France, but it's a long time ago for me. But you know, when you play in France, every time you face Marseille, it's always a big game. He's one of the biggest French clubs, especially in the European history, and it's a special place. So obviously, when you are French or when you play for a French team, facing Marseille, it's always special.
Here you go. Given the start that the team made last season, can you believe that you're sat here today ahead of a Champions League game and in a Champions League press conference?
I believe that it was our ambition, and we could feel the improvement. Very, very early. When Antonio Conte and his coaching staff arrived at the training ground. Obviously, it was not perfect, but step by step, we improve as a team. We improve our concept, and I think in the last moment of the season, we step up and we got the fourth spot for the Champions League. And if we are in this competition today, it's because we deserve and because we made the job last season. It's a new adventure for the club. It's been 2 years now without this competition, and we are all excited to be part of it. But also we have to play with ambition. And we know also that this competition is all about details. It's high-level football, and every team involved, every player is involved. They're going to try to do their best. They're going to try to play at their best level. And so it demands a lot of focus. And we're going to try to start in the best way with a win.
Hugo, 18 months ago when Tottenham were knocked out of the Europa League, you were very honest and outspoken about the situation the club were in and also the team and the mentality. What's the difference now, and how much further have the team and the club itself come? Because you sort of said before that the reality didn't match the ambition, and I wondered now whether you think that the sort of reality does match the ambition.
I don't really like to talk about the past. Obviously, I'm more focused on the present. It's the story of a club, you know, there's up and downs. The most important is when you face difficulties, how you bounce back. I believe that the club is going in the right direction with the help of Antonio Conte and his coaching staff. But we know there is still a gap for improvement, and it demands a lot of effort and focus from all the players, and we're going to try to reduce the gap with the best team in Europe and the best team in England, but step by step. It's important to be focused on our work every day and ready to challenge any team.
Hugo, you've been at Spurs for 10 years now. You've won medals with France, but you haven't won a medal with Tottenham. Is that a real hunger of yours now to put that particular record right?
Yes, I'm still looking for it, and I believe that we are capable to make it. But as I said just before, it's going to demand a lot of effort, a lot of work. I feel and I believe that we are going in the right direction, but we know also that there is a lot of competitive club in England and in Europe, and so that's why we need to go step by step. But the belief is there. That's the most important. We feel that we are ready to compete. We feel that we are improving, but we know that it's never enough. You always have to push, to prove yourself and push and to go over your limit if you want to arrive and to succeed.
And can I just mention VAR? Obviously, you have VAR in Premier League and Champions League. We saw at the weekend that VAR is fallible, let's say. It can make mistakes. As a player, do you go onto the pitch believing it will always be right, or do you have it in the back of your mind that maybe it can make an error or two?
Well, it's not the kind of debate I want to go in. As a player, you're just focused on the game, and like all the fans, we cannot manage the situation. It's all about referee decisions, about VAR decisions, and sometimes, like we saw in some games in this beginning of the season, there have been some mistakes, no? But mistakes, it's quite human, and so let's see if we are going in the right direction. But as I said before, when you're a player, when you're on the field, you are just focused on the ball, focus on the game, and try to do your best.
Hugo, you spoke there about the kind of closing that gap towards the top teams, and Antonio said there's still too big a gap between Spurs and, say, Liverpool, City. How big do you think that gap is, and do you think it's sort of shrinking?
Well, when you look at that type of team, they have a huge experience as a team. Players used to play each other for many, many years now. They used to succeed. They used to win trophies. It will be easier to answer that question at the end of this season, you know, to see where we're going to finish, to see how close we could be. But all our thought at the moment is on the present, and mainly on the game of tomorrow.
Also, you showed, it was mentioned there, after that Zagreb game, you really hate to lose, and obviously Antonio hates to lose and wants the players to share that mentality. Do you see more of that mentality now amongst your teammates?
Yes, but it's been the case also in the past. But obviously, our manager is our main leader, and I believe that there is a connection between the manager feelings and the way the team is playing. You know, so at the moment I feel there is a great connection, and but it's not the moment to do less. It's the moment to do more, to push ourselves, to continue in the right way, and let's see where we will be at the end. But as I said before, we are only focused on the game of tomorrow, and that's it.
Hugo, how long did it take you to get over losing the final in 2019? And do you believe with Spurs you'll play another Champions League final?
Yeah, but the final is so far and so difficult to reach. We are focused on the group stage with the ambition to go through. There is no easy game in that competition, and we have to respect any opponent involved. And we know that it's going to be a long way to go through. So step by step, game by game, and all our energy and all our focus on Marseille, and we will see later for this.
We'll finish with George, please.
Hi, Hugo. You recently celebrated 10 years at Spurs. When you reflect on those 10 years and the memories, are the Champions League nights, you know, real highlights up there? Obviously, that run and beating Real Madrid a few years ago as well.
Yes, I didn't have time to reflect about the 10 years, you know. I'm more focused on the present and to make sure that we try our best to make the future bright for Spurs. But as you said, obviously, this night was one of the best memory with the Spurs jersey.